After trading runs for 9 innings, Game 4 of the World Series came down to one of the wildest finishes the sport has ever seen. The Lakers might have walked away with the win, but it was Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammon who walked away with her name in the record books.
What was inevitable for Dak Prescott is now a done deal. This morning, the Dallas Cowboys placed the exclusive franchise tag on their star quarterback.
It's a strong start for the Jeff Traylor era, who now becomes the first head coach in the school's history to earn 3 straight wins to start his career. From COVID-19 testing to injuries throughout the season, teams had to be ready for whatever was thrown their way. And for Texas football, that came in the second half of the Valero Alamo Bowl.
Spurs guard Lonnie Walker IV has already proven himself as an athlete that goes beyond his sport. Murray was absolutely fantastic in the fourth quarter in Tuesday night's game, dropping 21 of his final 24 points in that last frame.
Astros third baseman Alex Bregman said at the beginning of this postseason that this team is made for October.
In less than a week, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred went from 100% confident baseball would be played to not confident there will even be a 2020 baseball season. 7 minutes left of the game. Quincy Pondexter drives to the basket and won a huge 3-point play to give San Antonio some momentum. And the Spurs feed off of it. Forbes from downtown, cutting the lead to 16 now.
Okay.
How about Patty Mills to Gasol and then back to Patty? Moneyball.
Okay.
Second World Series appearance in 3 years. What is it about this team that always finds a way back to this stage?
We know how to win.
He is someone that rebounds so quickly. Give him a challenge, give him more pressure. He responds, just like the rest of this team. But Alex Bregman is meant for October.
Without a doubt, the heat will play a factor in tonight's game. I have an on-the-field thermometer with me. Right now, it's 108 degrees, but I talked to UIW head athletic trainer Sal Cervantes. He says he expects this field to be as hot as 130. Your 10th year in the league, without a doubt, one of the biggest veterans on this team, and especially with a young linebacker core. How has your role developed over time?
I would argue the Cowboys need Adams more and would benefit from him more because that position of any position on the field has the most question marks, which is why the last takeaway from these past weeks is hope. Hope that NASCAR is changing. Hope that people are opening their eyes, and hope that we are another step closer to racial equality.
He's always been, out of my 4 boys, Bryce has always been my quiet one. I realize he is way stronger mentally, physically, than I ever gave him credit for.
To me, I don't know. I don't think I'm that strong, but everybody else looks at me like I am. I just think I'm just a normal person, just living life.
A life engulfed by football, school, friends, and family. This was the life Bryce Wisdom was used to living as a 15-year-old in Converse. Bryce couldn't wait to get back on the field and help the Rockets reclaim their status as one of the football powerhouses of South Texas. But little did he know, his biggest battle would come outside the football field.
After spring break, that Monday, he went back to school and he texted me and he says, "Mom, there's blood in my urine." So when we got him home, Rich, his dad, told him, let me know when you use the restroom again so we could take a look. So he says, "Oh, well, I just went." So we go in there and we looked at it and we immediately packed him up and went straight to the ER. They ran an MRI, they did other scans, and it was maybe 30 minutes. And they came back in and you could just see the looks on their face between the doctor and the nurse. And she let us know that there's a massive tumor in his kidney and she believes it's Wilms' tumor.
It came as a shock. I didn't believe it at first because you just never think you'd be the one to get cancer. Could just think it wouldn't happen to you. And when it did, it was just a shock to me.
So even when she was telling me that it was a tumor, I still didn't think cancer. I'm like, oh, he has a tumor. Okay. But then when she said oncologist, that's when it hit me like, whoa, this is cancer.
I mean, it was just like a snap of a finger one day. It's just a normal day. It's go to school, pick up the kids, and next thing you know, we're at this doctor and another doctor and another doctor in the ER. And I mean, it's just been a whirlwind. I mean, it's just kind of almost jumping into a new world.
From there, things moved quickly for the Wisdom family. Within a week after finding his tumor, Bryce was in surgery and his right kidney was removed. Wilms tumor is a rare form of kidney cancer that primarily affects children under the age of 5. However, the tumor was so large that it spread throughout the body, and Bryce underwent 11 grueling weeks of chemotherapy. When you go to a Judson girls basketball game, head coach Treva Corrales could easily be heard from the court. But that's not the voice she wants heard.
You know, I want them to be empowered. I want them to have a voice. I want them to, never be a doormat for anybody.
From day one, Coach Corrales made sure her players knew how much they were valued and how big an impact they could have on the world around them, including the UIL state tournament. After falling short the previous 2 years, the Rockets became the first area team to qualify for the state tournament 3 straight times in the highest classification. However, they made it very clear their journey didn't stop there.
You know, I talk about with them that when you're hungry and you eat, you get full and then you get good. And, you know, you can rest and relax. But if you ever meet someone who's starving or someone who's homeless and just wants a bite, they don't know when to stop. And they're just going to keep going because they don't know when their next meal is going to come. That's what I wanted for these kids.
This past season, the Rockets didn't just make it back. They made their mark on history. On March 2nd, Judson defeated DeSoto High School, claiming its first ever state title and the first for a greater San Antonio area girls basketball team at the 6A level.
It's the best feeling in the world. Well, I've worked my butt off, my staff has, these kids have. The community's been behind us every step of the way. I have incredible parents. It's a dream job, honestly.
It means so much. My 9th grade year, I promised her that I was going to get her one. In the previous 2 years, I felt like I failed her, but I knew that I had this last year to prove myself to her and just to show her how much I love her and how much I care for her.
Coach Corrales will never forget that day and that feeling, just like she will never forget why she went down the path of coaching in the first place.